So hello and welcome to day 2 of this course. Day 2 of looking at negative numbers and day 2 on the course. So yesterday we looked at the idea of some negative numbers when we came up with this strange idea that when we said how much more money does Paul make than John, that normally if Paul made €30 and John made €50, we'd say that Paul made €20 less than John. However, when we ask the question how much more money does Paul make than John, instead of saying that we made €20 less, we say that Paul made negative €20 more than John. Which seems kind of a strange thing to do. I mean, normally in English we'd always say that he made less. And that you only really come up with this idea of using negative things when we deal with comparing two things. But the reason that we say negative 20 more than John instead of saying €20 less than John is because a lot of the time in maths and a lot of the time in the world we have formulas. So you know, for example, that the formula for the area of a triangle is half the base by the perpendicular height, or the area of a rectangle is the base by the height, or the length by the width, or whichever way you want to do it. But in finance we've got lots of spreadsheets and things like that where we've got formulas. So for example, the formula to find out how much more money Paul makes than John would be the amount of money that Paul makes. So I'm going to say dollar symbol P, or maybe I should have euro symbol P for Paul, minus the euro symbol J for John. So that's how we find out how much more money. So for example, if Paul makes €30 and John makes €20, then to find out how much more money Paul makes than John, we have a formula, which is this number, 30, take away this number, 20, is equal to 10. But as we saw yesterday, sometimes Paul might make €10 and John might make €20, or let's say €25, just to have a few different numbers. Then our formula will still say the amount of money Paul makes. Let's have a look at our formula. The amount of money Paul makes less the amount of money John makes, which is the amount of money Paul makes, 10, take away 25. So normally in English we would say that Paul makes €15 less than John, but because we have this formula, we need to know what the formula creates. So instead of saying Paul makes €15 less than John, we say that Paul makes negative €15 more than John. So today's exercise, we're going to be looking at answering just a couple of questions with a formula. So we're going to be given something like the formula is the amount of money Paul makes less the amount of money John makes. And sometimes we use just a letter. I mean, we might use the letter P for how much money Paul makes and J for how much money John makes, and we get this formula. The amount of money that Paul makes less the amount of money that John makes. That's our formula. In the question, it might say that John always makes €40 because whatever, that's what he's paid for his day's work. And Paul makes, I'm going to give you a list of questions. So if Paul makes, if he makes €70 and €50 and €30 and €10, the question then is, the question will be how much more money than John does Paul make? And we just use the formula. And actually, if you like, you can just put that straight into your calculator. P is the amount of money that Paul makes, 70, less the amount of money that John makes, 40. So for your calculator, you're going to go 70 minus 40, and your answer will be 30. For the second one, it's going to be 50 minus 40, and your answer will be 10. We can see clearly that Paul makes €30 more than John, €10 more than John, But when you put the 30 into the calculator, the number that you're going to get is negative 10. When you put 10 into the calculator, the result that you're going to get is negative 30. So instead of saying he makes 10 euro less than John, we say that he makes negative 10 euro more than John. Again, it seems a strange thing to say in English, but the reason we do it is because we have formulas. And I'm going to give you a question with a list of questions, and you're going to give me a list of answers. So just make sure that your answers are in the same order. And that's all there is to it. You can just put it into the calculator if you like, or even better, if you can have a look at the question and think, what do I get when I've got 30? Take away 40, and you're thinking, well, I'm taking more away. I know the difference is 10, but I know that he actually makes less, so it's going to be negative. So you can think of it like that. You know that the difference is actually 10 between the two numbers, but you know he's actually less, so he gets negative 10. So that was an example for that question. These are ordinary questions. You know exactly how to do them already. These are a little bit different. You just have to notice that if you're taking away more than you already have, you get the same difference. 40 minus 10 is 30. So 30 is the difference between these two numbers, but we're just going to say negative 30 more than John instead of saying 30 euro less than John. So a little bit strange use of English, but in a lot of questions, a lot of spreadsheets, a lot of maths, we have formulas, and we need to be able to have formulas that give answers for the same question when we would like to change the English, but we're just going to use a different way of saying that. So we just need to learn that say that minus 30 actually means 30 euro less than John. Okay, so have a go at the questions, and remember to give your answers in the same order that they were asked. If Paul makes 70, 50, 30, 10, then your answers should be in the order 30, 10, negative 10, negative 30. Have a go at that. I'm sure you'll have no problem.